Nia slid into the back seat and slammed the door. Oh my God. Thank you so much for waiting. I'm so sorry I'm late. My phone literally just died and I couldn't see where you were and I was panicking because I cannot be late today of all days. The driver said nothing. He just pulled away from the curb, smooth and quiet. Nia leaned back against the leather seat, her heart still pounding. The car smelled expensive, clean, way nicer than the usual Ubers she took. Seriously though, thank you. I'll pay you through the app as soon as I charge my phone at work. And I'm giving you 5 stars. Definitely 5 stars. You have no idea how much you just saved me. Still nothing from the front seat. She kept talking. She couldn't help it. When she was nervous, words just spilled out. Today is literally the worst day for me to be late. Did you see the news? About the warehouses getting bought out? Well, mine got bought. By the Mafia. Like actual Mafia. I got this message at like 6 a.m. saying new management took over and everyone has to report immediately or we're fired. The driver's eyes flicked to the rearview mirror. Just for a second. Nia didn't notice. She was staring out the window, watching the streets blur past. And you know what? I hate this. I hate that they think they can just take over people's lives like this. Like we're just things they can buy. I can't even quit because I'm broke. I'm completely trapped. The driver made a small sound. Maybe acknowledgement. Maybe nothing. If I meet this guy, this new boss, I'm going to tell him exactly what I think. I don't care if he fires me. Someone needs to say it to his face. You can't just buy people. You can't just walk into someone's workplace and act like you own them. That's brave, the driver said quietly. His voice was low, measured, slightly accented. It's not brave. It's just right. Nia crossed her arms. I bet he's some smug asshole in an expensive suit who thinks money makes him untouchable. Well, he's not, and I'm going to make sure he knows that people see him for what he is. And what is he? A criminal, a thug in nice clothes. She shook her head. I don't care how much money he has or how scary his reputation is. He's still just a man who thinks he can control people through fear, and that's pathetic. The driver was quiet for a moment. You've thought about this a lot, he finally said. I've had 20 minutes to think about it. That's all it takes to know this is wrong. They turned onto a wider street. Nia recognized it now. They were getting close to the warehouse district. I mean it, though, she continued. If I see him today, I'm not staying quiet. Everyone else is probably going to smile and bow and act grateful just to keep their jobs. But not me. Someone has to stand up. Someone has to tell him he's not welcome. Even if it costs you your job? Even then, at least I'll leave with my dignity. The car slowed. Through the windshield, Nia could see the warehouse ahead. There were black cars everywhere, dozens of them lining the street. Men in dark suits stood near the entrance, hands clasped in front of them, faces blank. Her stomach twisted. This was real. This was actually happening. Oh God, she whispered. The driver pulled up to the curb and put the car in park. Nia reached for the door handle, then stopped. Hey, I'm serious about the 5 stars. And the payment. As soon as my phone's charged, Don't worry about it, the driver said. She blinked. What? The ride's covered. By who? He didn't answer. He just sat there, hands on the wheel, staring straight ahead. Something cold slid down Nia's spine. Who are you? She asked slowly. The driver turned in his seat. For the first time, she saw his face clearly in the morning light. He was young, early 30s maybe. Sharp features, dark eyes that seemed to look right through her. His expression was completely neutral. Good luck in there, Miss Carter, he said. Nia's breath caught. How do you know You should go. You don't want to be late. Her hand trembled on the door handle. She wanted to ask more questions, wanted to demand answers. But those men in suits were watching, and she was already late. She pushed the door open and stumbled out onto the sidewalk. The car pulled away immediately. Smooth. Silent. Gone. Nia stood there for a second, her mind racing. How did he know her name? Why did he say the ride was covered? Why did he... Nia! She turned. Her coworker Shanice was waving frantically from the warehouse entrance. Girl, get in here. They're about to start. Nia forced her legs to move. She walked toward the building, past the men in suits who tracked her with their eyes but said nothing. Inside, the warehouse looked different. The usual clutter was gone. Everything was organized, clean. New lights had been installed overhead, bright white and fluorescent. The concrete floor had been power washed. Where have you been? Shanice grabbed her arm the second she walked in. They've been calling names. I got stuck in traffic. What's happening? I don't know. Nobody knows. They just keep telling us to wait. Shanice's voice was shaking. Nia, look at all these men. There's so many of them. She was right. There had to be at least 30 guys in dark suits positioned throughout the warehouse, standing near exits, watching from the catwalks, silent and still. Where's Mr. Peterson? Nia asked. Their old boss. Haven't seen him. I think he's in the back offices with them. With who? The new people, the Mafia. Nia's coworkers were clustered together near the loading docks. Marcus, Danny, Keisha, Jerome. Maybe 40 people total. Everyone looked terrified. All right, let's move to the center floor, one of the suits called out. His voice was firm but not aggressive. Everyone together, now please. They shuffled into a loose group in the middle of the warehouse. The suits formed a perimeter around them, not threatening exactly, just present, watching. Nia's heart was hammering. Then she heard shouting from the back. You can't do this. This is illegal. I'm calling the police. Mr. Peterson's voice, high and panicked. Everyone turned. The office door slammed open. Mr. Peterson stumbled out, his face red, his shirt half untucked. Two men in suits flanked him, gripping his arms. Let me go, let me... Mr. Peterson. The voice came from behind him, calm, almost bored. Nia's blood turned to ice. She knew that voice. A man stepped out of the office, hands in his pockets, perfectly tailored suit, dark hair swept back. It was him, the driver. Before we dive into this intense story, hit that subscribe button right now. You won't want to miss what happens next. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from, and if you think you'd survive in Nia's situation, share this with someone who loves dark romance thrillers. Trust me, this ride gets wild. Now, let's begin. He walked past Mr. Peterson like he wasn't even there, his eyes scanning the crowd of workers. When his gaze landed on Nia, something flickered across his face. Amusement, maybe. Or recognition. Then it was gone. Good morning, everyone, he said. His voice carried across the warehouse without effort. I hope you all made it here safely. The traffic can be difficult this time of day. Nobody spoke. Nobody moved. He smiled slightly. I'm sure you're all wondering what's happening. Let me be clear. As of this morning, this company is under new ownership, new management, new structure. But your jobs are secure. Nothing about your day-to-day work will change. Bullshit. Mr. Peterson struggled against the men holding him. You can't just... Mr. Peterson will no longer be involved in operations. The man continued, ignoring him completely. Any concerns or questions you have should be directed to your new supervisors. He gestured to the suits positioned around the room. Now, I'm curious, he said, his eyes moving across the crowd again. How was everyone's morning? How did you get here today? The commute, was it smooth? Silence. Nia felt like she might throw up. Did anyone have trouble arriving the location? He asked. Any issues with transportation? A few people shook their heads, nervous, confused. His gaze landed on Nia again, held there. How about you, Miss Carter? How was your ride? Every eye in the warehouse turned to her. Nia's throat closed up. She couldn't breathe, couldn't speak. She started. Actually? He cut her off gently. Why don't we discuss it later? I'd love to hear your thoughts. All of them. The way he said it. The way he looked at her. He knew. He knew everything she'd said in the car. Please. He addressed the crowd again. Take a moment to familiarize yourselves with the new layout. Your shift begins in 15 minutes. Work hard. Stay professional, and welcome to your new future. He turned to leave. Wait. Everyone froze. Mr. Peterson had wrenched himself partially free. He lunged forward, his face twisted with rage. You think you can just walk in here and take everything? You're a criminal, a thug. Mr. Kim. One of the suits stepped forward. Mr. Peterson grabbed something from his jacket. A gun. Small, silver. You're not taking this from me. This is mine. I built this. The shot was so loud it seemed to crack the air itself. Mr. Peterson stumbled backward. His eyes went wide. The gun clattered to the floor. He fell. Just fell. Blood spread across the concrete. Dark. Fast. Nia couldn't move. Couldn't breathe. Her vision tunneled. The man, Mr. Kim, someone had called him, stood with his hand still extended. A gun in his grip. Smoke curling from the barrel. He lowered it slowly. Clean this up, he said quietly. Two suits moved immediately, stepping over Mr. Peterson's body like it was a piece of furniture. Mr. Kim turned back to the crowd. His expression hadn't changed, still calm, still neutral. His eyes found Nia's again. She was staring at him, at the gun, at the body. He'd killed someone, right in front of her, right in front of everyone. 15 minutes, Mr. Kim said. Then we start work. He walked past the body, past the blood, and disappeared back into the offices. The warehouse was completely silent except for the sound of someone dragging Mr. Peterson's corpse toward the loading bay. Shanice was crying. Marcus looked like he might pass out. Keisha had her hands over her mouth. Nia just stood there, staring at the spot where Mr. Peterson had fallen, at the blood still wet on the floor. And all she could think was, he heard me, in the car. He heard everything I said. I told him I hated him. I called him a criminal, a thug. And now he knows my name. Now he knows my face. Her legs started shaking. Someone touched her arm. Shanice, maybe. Or Marcus. She couldn't tell. Nia, a voice whispered. Nia, we have to move. We have to... He killed him, Nia heard herself say. He killed him. I know. But we have to... I was in his car. The words came out flat. Disconnected. This morning, that was him. The driver. That was him. Shanice's face went pale. What? I thought he was my Uber. I got in his car. I told him... Nia's voice cracked. I told him I hated the Mafia. I said if I met the boss, I'd tell him exactly what I thought of him. Oh my God. He knows Shanice. He knows everything I said. The suits were ushering people toward the workstations now. Firm, insistent, no room for refusal. Nia moved like a robot, one foot in front of the other. They were putting them to work. Like nothing had happened. Like there wasn't blood still drying on the concrete 20 feet away. She ended up at a sorting station with Shanice and Marcus. Boxes were already piled on the conveyor belt. Work orders printed and waiting. Just act normal, Marcus whispered. Don't look at them. Don't draw attention. Nia picked up a scanner. Her hands were still shaking. A suit walked past, slow and deliberate. Watching them. She scanned a box, set it aside, picked up another. Scan. Sort. Repeat. Like nothing had happened. Like she hadn't just watched a man die. Like she wasn't absolutely certain she was next. An hour passed in mechanical silence. Then another. Nia! She jumped, nearly dropping the scanner. One of the suits stood beside her station. Young guy. Korean. Expression blank. Mr. Kim would like to see you. Her stomach dropped through the floor. I'm working. I have to finish. Now please. Shanice grabbed her hand under the table. Squeezed once. Her eyes said everything. Be careful. Don't say anything stupid. Come back. Nia followed the suit across the warehouse floor. Everyone watched her go. She could feel their eyes. The fear, the pity. They thought she was dead. Maybe she was. The suit led her through the main floor, past the loading docks, toward the back offices. Mr. Peterson's office. Except it wasn't his anymore. The door was open. Inside, Mr. Kim sat behind the desk, reading through a stack of papers. He didn't look up when she entered. "Sit," he said. There was a chair across from the desk. Nia sat. Her legs felt like water. The suit closed the door behind her. They were alone. Mr. Kim set down the papers, leaned back in his chair, looked at her. "So," he said. "Miss Carter? Nia. Can I call you Nia?" She nodded. She didn't trust her voice. "You had quite a bit to say this morning." Her throat closed up. "In the car," he continued. "You were very passionate, very honest." "I didn't know. I know. You thought I was your ride." He smiled slightly. It didn't reach his eyes. "A 5-star rating, you said. Very generous." Nia's hands were shaking in her lap. She pressed them together. Hard. "You called me a criminal," Mr. Kim said. His voice was still calm, conversational. "A thug in nice clothes. Pathetic, I think was the word you used." "I'm sorry." "Are you?" She looked up, met his eyes. They were dark, unreadable. "Yes," she whispered. "Why?" Because you," she couldn't finish. "Because I killed a man in front of you?" Nia flinched. Mr. Kim tilted his head. "You think I brought you in here to kill you too?" "I don't know. If I wanted you dead, Miss Carter, you'd be dead already." He said it so simply, like he was commenting on the weather. "The fact that you're sitting here means I have a different purpose for you." Her stomach twisted. "What purpose?" "I'm curious about you. You have fire, conviction. You were willing to tell a complete stranger exactly what you thought. Consequences be damned." He leaned forward slightly. "Most people in this city have learned to keep their mouths shut, to survive by staying invisible. But not you. That was before you knew who I was. Yes, but the sentiment was real, wasn't it? You genuinely believe what you said." Nia didn't answer. "Do you still believe it?" he asked. "Now that you've seen what I'm capable of? Do you still think I'm pathetic?" She wanted to lie, wanted to say whatever would get her out of this room alive. But something in his eyes stopped her. He was testing her. "I think," she said carefully, "that killing someone in front of 40 terrified workers is a lot of things, but pathetic isn't one of them." Mr. Kim studied her, silent. Then he smiled. A real smile this time. "Good," he said. "That's good. Honesty, I appreciate that." He stood up, walked around the desk, leaned against it, arms crossed. "Here's what's going to happen, Nia. You're going to go back to work. You're going to do your job. And you're going to keep your eyes open." "For what?" "For anything unusual. Anyone acting strangely. Anyone trying to leave. Anyone making phone calls they shouldn't be making." Understanding hit her like ice water. "You want me to spy on them?" "I want you to be observant." "That's the same thing." "Is it?" He tilted his head. "I'm asking you to help me protect this company. Protect your coworkers. There are people who want to see this operation fail. People who will use your friends to make that happen. I need to know who they are before they cause problems." "Why would I help you?" "Because I'm paying you twice what Peterson was. Because I'm giving you health insurance. Because I'm ensuring this warehouse stays operational so you and everyone else can keep their jobs." He paused. "And because you're smart enough to know that cooperation is better than the alternative." It wasn't a threat. Not exactly. But Nia heard it anyway. "What if I say no?" "Then you're free to leave, right now. Walk out that door. I won't stop you." Mr. Kim gestured toward the exit. "But you won't work in this city again. I'll make sure of it." Her jaw clenched. "That's not a choice." "No," he agreed. "It's not. But it's the only one you have." Nia stared at him. At this man who'd killed someone an hour ago and was now calmly blackmailing her into becoming an informant. "One more thing," Mr. Kim said. "Your rent is due soon, isn't it?" She went cold. "How do you—" "I know a lot of things, Nia. I know you're 3 months behind on your gas bill. I know your car payment is overdue. I know you eat ramen 4 nights a week because you can't afford anything else. He pulled an envelope from his jacket, set it on the desk. Consider this a signing bonus. Nia didn't move. Take it, he said. Slowly, she reached for the envelope, opened it. Cash. Thick stack of hundreds. Her hand started shaking again. That's $5,000, Mr. Kim said. Enough to cover your rent, your bills, your car, and then some. Why? Her voice came out hoarse. Because I take care of people who work for me. Because loyalty should be rewarded. He pushed off the desk, moved toward the door. Think of it as an investment in our future relationship. He opened the door. The suit from earlier stood waiting in the hallway. Escort Miss Carter back to her station, Mr. Kim said. Then he looked at Nia one last time. Oh, and Nia, the next time you want to vent about your employer, maybe check who's driving first. He smiled. She hated that smile. Hated that she was clutching $5,000 of his money. Hated that she knew she was going to take it. The suit led her back through the warehouse, back to her station where Shanice and Marcus were trying very hard to look like they weren't watching. Nia sat down, picked up the scanner. What happened? Shanice whispered. Nothing. Nia, I said nothing. The envelope was still in her pocket. $5,000. Blood money. She tried not to think about what she'd just agreed to. That night, Nia couldn't sleep. She kept the envelope under her pillow. $5,000. More money than she'd ever held at once. Her phone buzzed at 2 a.m., unknown number. She almost didn't answer. Hello? You're awake. Minjae's voice. I thought you might be. How did you get my personal number? I know a lot of things about you, Nia. Remember? She sat up in bed. Why are you calling me? Because I imagine you're struggling with what happened today, with the choice you made. It wasn't a choice. No, he agreed. It wasn't, and I'm sorry for that. The apology surprised her. Are you really? She asked. Yes, I don't enjoy forcing people into corners, but sometimes it's necessary. For what? Your empire? For survival. Mine, yours, everyone at that warehouse. He paused. The man I killed today? He wasn't just an employee. He was working with a rival organization, planning to sabotage the shipments. Frame your coworkers. People would have gone to prison, Nia. Or worse. You could have just dismissed him. And then what? He goes to the rivals with everything he knows? He comes back with weapons? With backup? Minjae's voice hardened. I've seen what happens when you show mercy to people who don't deserve it. It gets good people killed. Nia pulled her knees to her chest. I don't know how to do this, she whispered. Do what? Do work for you. Be your informant. Pretend like everything is normal. Then don't pretend. Just be honest. With me. With yourself. Honest about what? About the fact that you're terrified. About the fact that you took the money because you needed it. About the fact that part of you understands why I did what I did, even if you hate that you understand. She wanted to argue, but she couldn't. Get some sleep, Nia, Minjae said softly. Tomorrow will be easier. And the day after that. Eventually, this will just be your life. That's what I'm afraid of. I know. He hung up. Nia stared at her phone in the darkness and realized he was right. She did understand. And that terrified her more than anything. 3 days passed. The warehouse ran smoother than it ever had. New equipment arrived. Broken machinery got fixed. The bathrooms were actually cleaned. People were still scared. But they were also confused. This isn't what I expected, Shanice said during lunch. I thought they'd be worse, more violent. They killed Mr. Peterson, Nia reminded her. I know, but since then, nothing. They just watch and make sure everything runs smoothly. Marcus nodded. My paycheck was higher this week, like significantly higher. They corrected all the wage theft Peterson was doing. Nia's stomach twisted. She hadn't told anyone about her arrangement with Minjae. About the money. about what she'd agreed to do. Maybe they're not as bad as we thought, Keisha said quietly. Or maybe they're just better at hiding it, Naya countered. Everyone went quiet. That afternoon, Minjai appeared at her station. Walk with me, he said. It wasn't a request. They walked through the warehouse, past the loading docks, toward the offices. You've been avoiding me, he said. I've been working. You've been hiding. Nia stopped walking. What do you want from me? Honesty. I told you that. Fine. Honestly? I hate this. I hate that I took your money. I hate that I'm spying on my friends. I hate that I understand why you killed Peterson. I hate all of it. Minjai studied her face. But you're still here, he said, because I don't have a choice. There's always a choice, Nia. You just don't like the alternatives. He gestured toward his office. Come, I want to show you something. Inside, he pulled up files on his computer. Financial records, employee contracts, medical benefits. This is what Peterson was doing, he said, pointing to highlighted sections. Skimming wages, denying overtime, forcing people to work off the clock. He'd been doing it for years. Nia leaned closer. The numbers were damning. Your friend Marcus? He should have been making $18 an hour. Peterson was paying him $12. Shanice should have had health insurance 2 years ago. He kept denying her application. Why are you showing me this? Because I want you to understand that I'm not the villain in this story. Peterson was. I just happened to be the one with the power to stop him. Nia looked at the files, at the proof of everything Minjai was saying. That doesn't make what you did right, she said. No, but it makes it necessary. He closed the laptop. You're going to keep struggling with this, Nia. With the moral ambiguity, with the gray areas. But eventually you'll realize that the world isn't black and white. It's all gray. And the only thing that matters is which side you're standing on when the dust settles. And which side am I on? Minjai looked at her. Really looked at her. Mine. Whether you've accepted it yet or not. On the 4th day, Marcus came to her. Someone came to see me last night, he said quietly. Naya's heart sank. She listened as Marcus told her about Peterson's brother, about the offer, about the money. And when he asked what he should do, she wanted to lie. Wanted to tell him to refuse without getting Minjai involved. But she thought about what Minjai had said, about survival, about choosing sides. Let me handle it, she said. She went straight to Minjai's office, told him everything, and watched his expression darken. Thank you for telling me, he said. What are you going to do? Protect Marcus and everyone else. By killing Peterson's brother? By making sure he understands that his brother's death was justified. That continuing this path will only get more people hurt. Minjai stood up, moved around the desk, stopped in front of her. I know you think I'm a monster, Nia, but everything I do is calculated, controlled. I don't kill for pleasure. I kill to protect what's mine. And what's yours? This company, these workers, you. The way he said it, the certainty in his voice. Nia's breath caught. I'm not yours, she said. Not yet, but you will be. It wasn't a threat. It was a promise. And somehow that was more terrifying. That night, Minjai called her. It's handled, he said. Marcus is safe. Peterson's brother won't be a problem. Did you kill him? I convinced him to leave the city, permanently. How? I showed him proof that his brother was working with criminals, that I saved this company from being used for weapons trafficking, that everyone here would have been arrested or killed if I hadn't stepped in. Nia sat down heavily. Was it true? Every word. Why didn't you tell me that from the beginning? Because some truths need time, need trust. His voice softened. I'm not asking you to approve of my methods, Nia. I'm asking you to understand the reasons behind them. I'm trying. I know. That's why I'm being patient. She wanted to argue, to push back, but she was exhausted. Thank you, she said instead, for protecting Marcus. Always. After he hung up, Nia sat in the darkness, and realized something terrifying. She was starting to trust him. 2 weeks later, Min-jae promoted her. No more sorting, no more scanning. Her own desk, her own office, logistics coordinator. Why? She asked when he told her. Because you're wasted on the floor. You're smart, organized. You see patterns other people miss. He handed her a folder. This is your new position. Better pay, better hours, better everything. Nia opened the folder. The salary made her dizzy. This is too much. It's what you're worth. To you, maybe, not to anyone. He interrupted. Peterson was a fool for not seeing it. I'm not. She looked up at him. What do you want from me, Min-jae? He smiled slightly at her use of his first name. I want you to succeed. I want you to build something here. Something good. He moved closer. And I want you to stop fighting what you already know is true. What's that? That you belong here. With me. Nia's heart hammered. You're my boss. I'm aware. This is inappropriate. Probably. Min-jae, I'm not asking you for anything, Nia. Not yet. I'm just telling you the truth. So you know. So when you're ready, you'll know where I stand. He left before she could respond. Nia sat in her new office, surrounded by her new responsibilities, and tried to ignore the fact that part of her wanted exactly what he was offering. The promotion changed everything. Nia worked directly with Min-jae now. Daily meetings, strategy sessions, long conversations about logistics and efficiency. And slowly, carefully, something shifted between them. He started asking about her life, her family, her dreams. She started seeing past the cold exterior, started noticing the small kindnesses, the way he remembered everyone's names, the way he ensured the warehouse was safe, clean, fair. One evening, they were working late, reviewing shipment schedules. Why did you really take over this company? She asked suddenly. Min-jae looked up from his laptop. I told you. Peterson was, no, the real reason, not the justification. He was quiet for a long moment. My father owned a restaurant, he said finally. In Seoul, small place. He worked 16-hour days. When I was 12, a gang came demanding protection money. He refused. They burned it down. My mother was inside. Nia's breath caught. Min-jae, the police did nothing. Said it was too dangerous. That we should just accept it and move on. His voice was flat, empty. So I learned. I learned that the only way to protect what you care about is to be stronger than the people trying to take it. Is that what this is? Protection? It's survival. For me. For everyone who works here. He looked at her. People like Peterson, they hide behind legitimacy, behind paperwork and contracts. But underneath, they're just as predatory as any gang. They just do it legally. So you became what you feared? I became what was necessary. Nia wanted to argue, to tell him he was wrong, but she couldn't, because she understood. I'm sorry, she said quietly, about your mother. Don't be. It made me who I am. Is that a good thing? Min-jae smiled sadly. Ask me again in a year. 3 weeks into her new position, everything went wrong. It was a Tuesday afternoon. Normal day, normal shipments. Until the shooting started. Nia was in her office when she heard the first gunshot. Then screaming. She ran to the window. 6 men with guns were storming through the loading docks. Workers were scattering, diving behind equipment. One of Min-jae's people went down, blood spreading across the concrete. Get down! Someone grabbed her, pulled her to the floor. It was Min-jae. Stay here, he ordered. What's happening? Rival organization, they're making a move. More gunshots, glass shattering. Min-jae pulled out his phone, barked orders in Korean. Then he was moving, gun in hand, toward the main floor. Wait, Nia grabbed his arm. You can't go out there. I have to protect them. You'll get killed. He looked at her. His expression was fierce, determined. Then I get killed protecting what's mine. He pulled away before she could stop him. Nia watched through the window as Min-jae stepped onto the warehouse floor. The attackers saw him immediately, guns raised. But Min-jae's people appeared from everywhere. The catwalks, the offices, the loading bays. They'd been waiting. The firefight was brutal, quick. Min-jae moved through it like a dancer. Precise, controlled, protecting workers, herding them toward safety, taking down attackers. Nia watched him shield Shanice with his own body as bullets flew past. Watched him drag Marcus behind cover. Watched him stand between the attackers and the huddled, terrified workers. And she realized something. He meant it. Every word he'd said about protection, about keeping people safe. He was willing to die for it. The fight ended in less than 3 minutes. The attackers were dead or fleeing. Min-jae's people secured the perimeter. And Min-jae stood in the center of the warehouse, blood on his shirt, checking on every single worker. Is anyone hurt? Does anyone need medical attention? His voice was calm, steady, like he hadn't just survived a gunfight. Shanice was crying. Marcus looked shell-shocked. But everyone was alive. Min-jae's eyes found Nia's through the window. He nodded once, then turned back to his people. Nia's legs gave out. She slid down the wall, shaking. He'd saved them. All of them. He could have run. Could have saved himself. But he'd stayed. That night, Nia went to his apartment without being invited. He answered the door, surprise crossing his face. Nia. She didn't let him finish. She stepped inside, closed the door behind her. You could have died today, she said. I didn't. You could have. Those men were trying to kill you, and you just stood there, protecting everyone else. That's my job. Your job is to run a criminal empire, not to be a human shield. Min-jae's expression softened. I told you. I protect what's mine. And the workers are yours? Yes, and so are you. Nia's breath caught. I don't know what we're doing, she whispered. I don't know what this is. Neither do I. But I know I want to figure it out. With you. He moved closer. I've wanted you since the moment you got in my car and called me pathetic. Since you looked at me with fire in your eyes and refused to back down. I've wanted you since the beginning, Nia. And I'm tired of pretending I don't. This is a terrible idea. Probably. You're dangerous. Complicated. Impossible. I know. And her voice broke. I think I'm falling for you anyway. Min-jae's hand came up, gentle, cupping her face. Then fall, he whispered. I'll catch you. And he kissed her. It was different from anything Nia had expected. Gentle, reverent, like she was something precious. When they broke apart, she was crying. I don't want to love you, she said. I know. I don't want to be this person. I know that too. But I can't stop. Then don't. He pulled her close, held her, and Nia let herself break. Let herself feel everything she'd been holding back for weeks. The fear, the confusion, the impossible, terrifying truth. She was in love with him, and there was no going back from that. The next morning, she woke up in his bed, sunlight streaming through the windows. Min-jae was already awake, watching her. Hi, she said. Hi. I should probably regret this. Do you? No. He smiled, a real smile, warm and genuine. Good, because I don't either. Nia sat up, pulling the sheet around herself. What happens now? Now we figure this out. Together. And if we can't? We will. His certainty should have annoyed her. Instead, it made her feel safe. I need to tell you something, he said, his expression growing serious. Nia's stomach tightened. What? There's someone from my past. Park. He used to work for me. He betrayed me and I let him live. That was a mistake. What does that mean? It means he's going to come back, and he's going to try to hurt me by hurting the people I care about. Me. Min-jae nodded. I can protect you, but you need to be careful. Don't go anywhere alone. Don't trust anyone you don't know. For how long? Until I find him. Nia took his hand. Then find him, fast, because I'm not going to live in fear. I know. That's one of the things I love about you. The word hung between them. Love. He'd said it so casually, so certainly. Minjai. I know it's fast. I know it's complicated, but I'm not going to lie to you, Nia. Not about this. He moved closer. I love you. I've loved you since you called me a thug in nice clothes. And I'm going to keep loving you, whether you're ready to hear it or not. Nia's eyes filled with tears. You're impossible. I know. And She took a breath. I love you too. God help me, but I do. Minjai kissed her. Soft. Sweet. Full of promise. And for the first time in weeks, Nia felt like maybe, just maybe, everything would be okay. 2 days later, someone tried to grab her in the parking lot. She was leaving work late, keys in hand, when she felt someone behind her. She turned. Man in a dark jacket, face obscured. Miss Carter, he said. Mr. Park would like to speak with you. Nia's heart hammered. I don't know who that is. Yes, you do. He reached for her arm. She screamed. Within seconds, 2 of Minjai's people appeared from nowhere. They grabbed the man, forced him to the ground. One of them pulled out a phone. Sir, we have a situation. Minjai was there in 10 minutes. He didn't look at the man on the ground. He went straight to Nia. Are you hurt? No, I'm fine. His hands were shaking as he checked her over. Gentle. Thorough. I'm fine, she said again. He pulled her into his arms, held her tight. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. It's not your fault. It is. Everything is my fault. Nia pulled back, looked at him. Stop. Stop blaming yourself for things other people choose to do. He targeted you because of me. And your people protected me because of you. So which is it? Are you the reason I'm in danger or the reason I'm safe? Minjai didn't answer. Nia cupped his face. Listen to me. I knew what I was getting into. Maybe not at first, but I know now. And I'm still here. That's my choice, not yours. Nia, I'm not leaving you. Not because of this. Not because of him. So stop trying to push me away. Something in his expression cracked. He kissed her, hard and desperate. I don't know what the future looks like, he said against her lips. I don't know if I can keep you safe. But I want to try. I want you by my side. Then let me be there. Even knowing what it means, especially knowing what it means. He held her for a long time. Behind them, his people dragged the man away. Neither of them watched. Park was found 3 days later. Nia didn't ask what happened to him. Didn't want to know. Life went back to normal. Or as normal as it could be. She moved into Minjai's apartment 2 months later. Not because he asked, but because she wanted to. They fell into a rhythm. Work during the day. Each other at night. It wasn't perfect, but it was theirs. And then everything went to hell. It started with a phone call. A number she didn't recognize. She answered. Miss Carter? Male voice. Older. Familiar somehow. Who is this? Someone who needs your help. Someone who cares about what happens to you and your coworkers. Nia's stomach dropped. How did you get this number? That doesn't matter. What matters is that you're in danger. Real danger. And the man you've been sleeping with is the reason why. I'm hanging up. Wait, please. The voice softened. My name is Peterson. Robert Peterson. You knew my brother. Nia's blood went cold. Your brother tried to... My brother tried to protect what was his. Yes, I know. And your boyfriend killed him for it. That's not what happened. Isn't it? He took the company by force. He murdered my brother in cold blood. And now he's using you. Using all of you. I'm not listening to this. Then just listen to this. Check the company finances. Really look at them. See where the money is coming from. Where it's going. And then ask yourself if you really know who Minjai is. He's a criminal, Miss Carter. A killer. And you've been helping him launder money through your facilities for the past year. The line went dead. Nia stood there, phone in hand, mind racing. Laundering money. Was it possible? She thought about the expansion, the rapid growth, The cash that always seemed to be available. No, Minjay wouldn't. Would he? She went to work early the next morning, pulled up the financial records, started digging, and found exactly what Peterson had said she would. Shell companies, offshore accounts, transactions that didn't add up, money moving through her facilities that had nothing to do with legitimate business. She'd been running a laundering operation without even knowing it. Her hands shook as she closed the files. All this time she'd thought she was helping people, thought she was doing good, but she'd just been a useful idiot, a pawn. She went home early. Minjay was there, working in his study. "Hey," he said, smiling. "You're home early. We need to talk." The smile faded. "About what?" "About what I've really been doing. About what these facilities really are." Minjay's expression went carefully neutral. "What did you find?" "Everything. The shell companies, the accounts, all of it." Her voice shook. "You've been using me. Using my facilities to launder money." "Nia, don't lie to me. Not now." Minjay stood up, moved toward her. "I never lied to you. You didn't tell me the truth. Would you have stayed if I had?" She didn't answer, because they both knew. "I gave you everything," Minjay said quietly. "Security, purpose, a future. And yes, the money that paid for it came from places you wouldn't approve of. But the work you did, the people you helped, that was real. It doesn't matter if it was built on a lie. It wasn't a lie. I told you what I was, who I was. You chose to look past it. Because I thought..." Her voice cracked. "I thought you were different. I thought maybe you were trying to be better. I am better. With you, because of you. That's not enough." "Then what do you want me to say? That I'm sorry?" "I am. I'm sorry I didn't tell you every ugly detail. But I'm not sorry for what I built. For what we built together." Nia felt tears on her face. She'd been so stupid. So blind. "I can't do this," she said. "Nia, I can't be with someone I don't trust. And I don't know if I can trust you anymore." She turned to leave. Minjay caught her arm. Not hard. Not threatening. Just holding on. "Please don't go," he said. "Not like this. Let me explain. Let me show you..." "Show me what? More lies?" "The truth. All of it." She wanted to pull away. Wanted to run. But something in his voice stopped her. "You have one chance," she said. "One. And if I don't believe you, I'm gone." "Okay." He led her back to the study, pulled up files on his computer, and told her everything. About the businesses he'd taken over, the people he'd saved from worse criminals, the money he'd redirected to communities that banks wouldn't touch, about the balance he tried to maintain between survival and morality. "I'm not a good man," he said. "I've done terrible things, things I can't take back. But I'm trying. Every day I'm trying to be someone worth the faith you have in me." Nia looked at the files, at the proof of everything he'd said. It didn't make it okay, but it made it comprehensible. "Why didn't you just tell me?" she asked. "Because I was afraid you'd leave, and I couldn't..." His voice broke. "I couldn't lose you." She closed her eyes. Everything in her screamed to walk away, to protect herself. But when she opened her eyes and looked at him, she saw something she'd never seen before. Fear. Real, genuine fear. "I need time," she said. "I need to think." "How much time?" "I don't know." She left, went to Shanice's apartment, cried on her couch for 3 hours. "What are you going to do?" Shanice asked. "I don't know." "Do you love him?" Nia didn't answer, but they both knew. 3 days later, Robert Peterson contacted her again. They met at a coffee shop, public, safe. He looked like his brother, same eyes, same build, but older, wearier. "Thank you for coming," he said. "I shouldn't be here." "But you are, because you know I'm right. About Minjay, about what he is." Nia didn't respond. "I want to reclaim my brother's company," Peterson said, "and I want your help to do it." "Why would I help you?" "Because you've seen the truth now. Because you know what needs to be done. He leaned forward. I'm not asking you to betray him out of revenge. I'm asking you to save your coworkers, to give them a chance at a real future, not one built on blood money. And if I say no, then I'll find another way, but it'll be messier. More people will get hurt. His voice softened. I don't want that, Miss Carter. I just want what's mine, what my brother built. Nia thought about the financial records, about Minjai's explanation, about everything she'd learned. Your brother was stealing from his workers, she said, underpaying them, overworking them. That's why Minjai took over. Peterson's expression hardened. That's what he told you? It's what I found. In the old records, before everything was digitized. Those records are fake. How do you know? Because I kept copies. The real ones, and I can prove it. He pulled out a folder, showed her. And Nia's world tilted again. He was right. The records Minjai had shown her were falsified. Mr. Peterson hadn't been perfect. But he hadn't been the monster Minjai had painted him as either. Oh God, she whispered. He's been lying to you from the beginning, Peterson said. He killed my brother to steal his company. That's all this ever was. A theft justified by lies. Nia felt sick. What do you want me to do? Help me get the workers on my side. They trust you. If you tell them the truth, they'll listen. And then what? Then we take back what's ours. Nia looked at the documents in front of her, at the proof of everything she'd refused to see. Okay, she said. I'll help you. Over the next 2 weeks, Nia carefully approached her coworkers, showed them the documents, explained what she'd found. Some believed her immediately. Others needed convincing. But eventually they came around. Even Marcus, even Shanice. They started organizing. Quietly, carefully, planning to confront Minjai together, to demand he return the company to its rightful owner. Nia didn't tell Minjai, didn't even see him. She'd moved out of his apartment, back to her old place. He called every day. She never answered, until the night before the confrontation. Nia, please, just talk to me. She almost hung up, but something stopped her. I know about the records, she said. The real ones. Silence. I know you lied about Mr. Peterson, about why you really took over. Nia, don't. Just don't. I don't want to hear more lies. Then listen to the truth. And he told her. About the man Mr. Peterson had been working with? A rival organization that was using the warehouse to move weapons, drugs. About how Minjai had tried to buy the company legitimately, but Peterson refused. About how the man Peterson killed at the warehouse wasn't just an employee. He was a federal agent, undercover. About how if Minjai hadn't stepped in, everyone at that warehouse would have been arrested. Or killed. The records Robert Peterson showed you are real, Minjai said. But they don't tell the whole story. His brother was deeper than he knew, than anyone knew. Then why not just tell me that from the beginning? Because I couldn't prove it without exposing sources I need to protect. Because the truth was classified. Because I thought... He paused. I thought if you just trusted me, it would be enough. Well, it's not. I know. I'm helping Peterson take back the company. I know that too. You're not going to stop me? No. If you think that's what's right, then do it. But know this. If Robert Peterson takes over, the people you care about are going to be in danger. Real danger. And I won't be able to protect them. Maybe they don't need your protection. Maybe not, but they'll need someone's. He hung up. Nia sat in the dark and wondered if she'd just made the biggest mistake of her life. The confrontation happened on a Saturday. 40 workers gathered at the main warehouse. Robert Peterson stood at the front. Minjai's people tried to stop them at the door, but there were too many. They pushed through. Minjai was in the office, waiting. Mr. Kim, Peterson said, it's time for you to leave. Is it? These people don't want you here. They want their real employer back. Minjai looked at the crowd, at Marcus, at Shanice, at Danny and Keisha, at Nia. Is that true? He asked. Nobody spoke. Miss Carter, is that what you want? Nia stepped forward. I want the truth. I want to know who you really are. What you really did. Min Jae's expression softened. Okay, he said. He pulled up files on his computer, showed them everything. The federal investigation, the weapons shipments, the undercover agent, the proof of what Mr. Peterson had really been involved in. Robert Peterson's face went white. That's not... It's true, Min Jae said quietly. Your brother was going to get everyone in this room killed or imprisoned. I stopped that from happening. By murdering him. By protecting them. The room was silent. Marcus spoke first. Is this real? He asked, looking at the files. Yes? Shanice was next. Mr. Peterson was really working with criminals? Yes. One by one, the workers looked at the evidence, at the truth. Robert Peterson backed toward the door. You're all fools, he spat. You're choosing a criminal over justice. No, Nia said. We're choosing survival. Peterson ran. Min Jae didn't stop him. The workers dispersed slowly, quietly, until only Nia remained. I'm sorry, she said. For what? For not trusting you. For believing him instead of you. You had every reason to. That doesn't make it right. Min Jae stood up, crossed the room, stopped in front of her. I know I've asked a lot of you. I know I've put you in impossible situations. And I know that staying with me means more of the same. I know. So why are you still here? Nia took his hand. Because I love you. And because I'm done running from that. Min Jae pulled her close, held her. I don't know what the future looks like, he whispered, but I want you in it. Then let me stay. Always. They stood there holding each other. And for the first time in weeks, Nia felt like she could breathe. 3 months later, he proposed. Not with a ring, not with fanfare. Just a quiet question on a quiet night. Marry me. Nia looked at him. At this man who'd changed her life in ways she never could have imagined. At this complicated, dangerous, beautiful man. Okay, she said. Really? Really. He kissed her, and Nia knew. This was her life now. This messy, complicated, impossible life. And she wouldn't trade it for anything. 2 days later, she was leaving work when Robert Peterson appeared. He'd been waiting in the parking lot, gun in hand. You chose him, Peterson said. His voice was shaking. I trusted you. I showed you the truth. And you chose his side. Mr. Peterson, my brother is dead because of him, and you're helping him get away with it. Your brother was guilty. Min Jae was trying to... I don't care. Peterson raised the gun. I don't care about the truth anymore. I just want him to hurt the way I hurt. Nia's heart hammered. Please, don't do this. I'm sorry, Miss Carter, but you left me no choice. The gunshot echoed across the parking lot. Wait, don't you dare leave without subscribing. That cliffhanger has you shook, right? I need to know. Do you think Nia survives? Drop your theory in the comments below and tell me what country you're watching from. I love seeing this community grow worldwide. Hit that share button because your friends need to experience this story. Rate this story 1 to 10 in the comments. Should I do a part 2 revealing what happens? Let me know. Subscribe now so you don't miss it. See you in the next one.